I know everyone is excited that the mainstream media is finally attaching Lou Taylor to Diddy, and thus we have a better chance now of exposing the corrupt system that enabled Britney Spears to be in a conservatorship for almost 14 years. And that required a total media blackout. So, wow, yeah, thanks, mainstream media. We got an article from the Daily Beast, the Daily Mail, but I want to talk about the Hollywood Reporter because they started this trend. Or did they? Yeah, I have a problem with the Hollywood Reporter. The Hollywood Reporter blocked me because I was copy pasting this message during the Grammys in 2022. They don't like that. But what would life be like, right? If they had just listened and been like, oh yeah, let's take on the complicit industry that enables serial abusers. Should I forgive them now that they're covering a serial abuser? I was trying to figure out the Lou Taylor Diddy connection back in 2021. I would have loved help with it from the mainstream media because I still don't think we've unpacked what really happened with Lou Pearlman's financial crimes, even though we've got all these documentaries. I also would have loved help figuring out who were paid infiltrators in the Free Britney movement, because there clearly were. And it was a very expensive endeavor on someone's part. And who was that? We still don't really know how high it goes, right? A lot of independent researchers and advocates have been working in silos because they couldn't really figure out who was good or bad, right? And when we don't have insider information, for me personally, my work is figuring out the relationships and the timeline. And that's how I can track like what is probably really going on. But when you look at this is 1999. And you've got all these people hanging out together. And we know that Diddy and Lou knew each other at least by the early 90s because they were both working with Uptown Records that was owned by MCA at the time. We know that Lou Taylor used Britney's money to promote her services. And a lot of these industry awards are pay to play, right? Lou has awards from Billboard, The Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and what do they have in common? Those publications are all owned by Penske Media, including Deadline, Rolling Stone, music festivals. So when you have that kind of oligopoly over the Hollywood media, certain things might not get out to the public for 14 years almost. Billboard gave Lou Taylor a Top Business Manager award last year, even after the Cassie lawsuit came out. And remember, Billboard is owned by the same people as the Hollywood Reporter. The journalist that wrote the Lou Diddy article just wrote this article about Casey Wasserman, who runs his own part of the oligopoly. Casey Wasserman is part of a talent agency oligopoly, and they're very successful, booking a lot of your favorite bands at your favorite festivals this summer. Casey is the grandson of Lou Wasserman of MCA. And what you will have to understand is we have to get to the heart of that octopus in order to dismantle the power network in Hollywood. At Casey's big birthday blowout, they recreated a famous Hollywood deli called Nate and Al's. Wouldn't you know that Nate and Al's is owned by Irving Azoff? They bought it because it was in distress during COVID. But guess who Irving Azoff's mentor was? Lou Wasserman. And guess who Lou Taylor's mentor is? Irving Azoff. The same Irving Azoff that is Kim Kardashian's godfather and was Robert Kardashian's boss when he was at MCA's radio network in the 80s. When we see Lou Taylor still hanging out at industry events like the Black Music Action Coalition's gala last week, and they're sponsored by Live Nation and Apple Music, etc., you have to really think about who her protection racket is, right? Irving, former head of Live Nation, Ticketmaster, that's who is protecting her. So we actually have to merge interest groups to tackle the octopus, right? It's actually really easy after you've been in this for a couple years to understand. And I want it to be easy for you. We all have our expertise in different areas. And I just think independent people should be coming together to support each other. And we shouldn't stand anyone in authority. They're not running the world very well, okay? Everything I've talked about in this video is why I had a huge problem with the octopus murders on Netflix, because you can't tell the story of Ronald Reagan and Hollywood and the 80s without talking about MCA. But the director of the octopus murders just followed me on Twitter. So Christian, if you see this, call me. I'm so lonely.